Hello patrons, this is Big Lair with Jack's Private Coffee Corner. Today is November 15th. Yes, looking at my clock, it is exactly 8 a.m. here in Japan, and bringing you the daily crypto update. There's been a little bit of movement in the crypto market, which is really awesome. One of my favorite universal laws is movement begets movement. What that means is when one thing moves, it will cause other things to move, even things that seem unrelated. So, looking here at my Excel chart, what's going on here? Well, you know, there's certain coins that I'm watching. I'm watching EOS, NEO, Tezos, OMG, the gas token, you know, the NEO gas token, and Veritasium. And let's see, how do those look? Well, EOS, it hasn't really changed. It's down 5 cents from when I checked it yesterday, or the day before, I should say. It lost a tiny bit of strength against Bitcoin, and its price in fiat dollars is down 1.4%. Not a huge move at all. NEO is down. NEO is down 2.3% in fiat currency terms, lost a little bit against Bitcoin. Tezos, how is that doing? Wow, Tezos gained almost 7%. Or I should say the price increased 7% in fiat currency terms, and it's looking very nice. It's gained some strength against Bitcoin. So if you had one Bitcoin and you wanted to buy Tezos, you would get 7,029 Tezos with your one Bitcoin, which is 550 less Tezos than you could have purchased yesterday. So that's a pretty good gain there for Tezos against Bitcoin. OMG, looking similar. OMG, the price has gone up a little bit, but the price of Bitcoin is down from yesterday. So OMG is up 5% in fiat currency terms, and it's gained almost the same strength as Tezos. So if you had one Bitcoin yesterday and you purchased OMG, today you would get 490 less OMG for that same Bitcoin. So that's a pretty good gain for OMG. Looking good. Veritasium. Wow, Veritasium is up 6%. In fiat currency terms. So the price just keeps going up. Now if I look back over this week here on my chart, today's the 15th, of course. If I go back to the, where was it? Okay, the 11th. Now on the 11th, Veritasium was $17.93 at the time I checked it. Then it went up 15% the next day on the 12th. It was up to $20.58. Then it lost a little bit, dropped back to $19.90 on the 13th. Yesterday, or I should say moving forward to now, it's $21.09. So Veritasium is looking strong. So what do I think about Veritasium? I thought it was a fantastic buy when it dropped down on that news. Remember the news where the Securities and Exchange Commission was going after Reggie Middleton? You know, and they ended up, he's going to pay a fine of $8 million or something. That's really nothing when it comes to the Securities and Exchange Commission getting you to pay a fine. You know, it's just like you have to pay off a mafia boss. It's nothing different than paying off a mafia boss, paying off the Securities and Exchange Commission. $8 million is not a lot of money. You know, if you check and see what companies are doing, all of the dirty stuff they're doing, and when they're found out by the Securities and Exchange Commission, you know, you're talking a lot more than $8 million usually. I'm trying to think of a few cases offhand. I know when I was studying for my MBA, I was quite shocked at the amount of money some companies were paying. We're talking in the hundreds of millions of dollars. And that money goes to the Securities and Exchange Commission, and what do they do with it? So a company does something wrong, or the government thinks a company did something wrong, and to right that wrong, you simply pay money. And then what happens to the money? It goes to the Securities and Exchange Commission. Well, what do they do with it? Oh, they're able to hire more people. They're able to expand their investigative powers. How much of that money actually goes into somebody's pocket? I've always wondered that, right? So, at my age, living in the countries I've lived in, seeing the things I've seen, to me, it's just like, you upset the boss, the mafia boss, and you got to pay money. That's all it is. It's just I'm sorry money. And then you can keep conducting business. So it's a really strange idea when you think about it. Okay, so Veritasium was at a very low price when all of that was going on. That was a good buy, in my opinion, but my rule is I'm not putting any more money into the crypto market. So if I want Veritasium, I have to make a profit somewhere on some other coins and then get Veritasium. So now Veritasium is at $21. Is this a buy? Well, you have to figure out and decide for yourself if it's a good thing to buy. Now, there's a lot of potential upside with Veritasium. I don't know if you're familiar with the Vader platform that Reggie Middleton has made. I've looked at it extensively because I think if a person really understood how that Vader platform worked, and you had Veritasium, Veritasium seems to be like the gas that moves everything in that Vader platform. I think a person could make a lot of money with that whole system. It's just that I haven't made the plunge yet. Actually, one of my ideas is I'm going to stay in cryptos, keeping my eye on all of these coins. And in the future, maybe a couple years down the road, I may also add this Vader platform to one of the things I do. That's how much I think this will be a fantastic opportunity for investors, for people who want to make money with their idle funds, their idle fiat currencies. So, is 21 a good buy-in price? That's something you have to decide. I think it's still okay, but I don't have any because, like I said, I'm waiting to make profits in other areas, and then I can move some into Veri. Now, I'm also looking at NeoGas. NeoGas is down 4.4% from a fiat currency standpoint, $1.50. I'm actually hoping to get some NeoGas closer to 140. We'll see if that is able to happen. Of course, that's just me, looking back at the pricing and saying, yeah, wouldn't 140 be great? But this thing could jump. This could jump up to $1.60, $1.70, $1.80, But we'll have to see. I do have some profits sitting somewhere that I could move into NeoGas, but I'm just waiting. But I think NeoGas will be a good coin to hold in the future, personally. And like I said, I'm keeping my eye on it because I want to understand the movement. It seems to be trading in a very narrow band. I think the recent highs, maybe that's in the last 3 to 6 months, was about $1.80, if I'm not mistaken. So from $1.80 all the way, it dropped all the way down to like around $1.30, I think, recently, and now it's slowly climbing up. That would have been a nice thing to get into. However, I just wasn't aware of it. I wasn't watching it then. Let's see. So Bitcoin Cash is down 3.7% in fiat currency terms. What else is down? Pundi. Pundi is really taking a beating. It's down another 3.3%. Let's see what happens with Pundi. So what are my recommendations today? I still think EOS at 342 is a good buy. Possibly NeoGas at 150. But I'm thinking of it. I haven't pulled the trigger on it yet. I do have a sell order in for NEO. Okay, I'm hoping that NEO will make one more jump up, and through my calculations it will hit one of my target prices if it makes this next jump up. So I'm hoping today it moves up, and I would guess, we're into November here, that the price of some of these cryptos will be going up more than they are now. People always say, where Bitcoin goes, the altcoin market goes. I don't know if that's necessarily true. From the coins that I'm watching, I've got a basket here of coins. Not all of them seem to move up with Bitcoin. So I don't know if that's true, but I'll be keeping my eye on just the ones I have here. What did I want to say? Oh, a friend of mine sent me a message, and my friend said to me, there's this trader that they follow. I don't know if they're, if they pay for this trader's information or not. And this is a guy, I think the trader is Iranian, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, my friend said to me, hey, you're always talking about NEO. I just watched a video from this trader who said he's closely watching 3 altcoins. The first altcoin is NEO. So I thought, hey, that's great. And the second altcoin is EOS. Well, my friend didn't know I'm watching EOS recently. And then I forget what the third coin was because I was just so excited. Someone else is looking at NEO and EOS. And the general takeaway from this trader was that he thinks NEO and EOS are looking as though they will break out in price. They will, increase in price in the near future. So this trader is keeping an eye on them to potentially invest in them. So that was kind of a nice wink from the universe for me. Okay, so remember, when you're considering which coins to buy, you have these 3 considerations that I mentioned in one of the videos, trading strategy videos in the Crypto Beginner Library. So for each person it's going to be different. Now for me, I'm saying, yeah, EOS is a good buy at 342. My average price on EOS is actually less than 342. I can't remember what it is offhand, but it's less than 342. And I know what it was when I bought it previously. At other times it was much more than 342. Or I should say, when I had to purchase EOS with my fiat currency, it was about double the price that it is now. However, through trading, I was able to significantly increase my amount of EOS to where the average price is now much, much lower than this 342. So I'm happy with whatever happens because my average price is so low. However, I remember paying, the price, what was it? I said double. I think let me think back here. In the beginning, I paid $6.32, I think, so it's not quite double of $3.40. And then I paid close to $7 for it on the second occasion because I thought that was a good buy. And then from there, I traded some other coins, traded some, I forget what it was now. Traded some other coins, and yes, I turned them into EOS, which was a really good thing. That was a beautiful, when did I do that? That was back probably March, April. That's when I first had this idea that what the heck am I doing hodling? I should start trading these things and increasing my coins. And I did that. I didn't tell anybody about it, and I didn't think I would ever tell anybody about it, but here I am talking about this kind of stuff. So just be aware that for me, for my situation, 342 is a really good price. Why? Because I paid a heck of a lot more for it, even though I've put myself in a position where the 342 is much higher than my average purchase price, we'll say. Okay, so it's up to you. You have to consider, your purchase price and all the things I mentioned in the video, and that's the same for all of these coins. And another rule that I have is I never sell anything at a loss. Now, In the past, I did sell one of my coins at a loss. And there's one coin. I bought Litecoin when it was just crazy, crazy high. It was over $200, I think. And there were certain people, there were certain YouTube personalities who were pumping Litecoin like crazy for a while there, right? And in those days, I didn't know very much. I'm just getting into the market. I knew the technology, blockchain technology and cryptos. I could see where these things were going in the future. So I wanted to get in. I didn't know any better. And I bought them for that price. And then I watched them like go down, 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 down. Litecoin eventually went to like $30 or something. So that was really tough to watch that. And I wasn't savvy enough or smart enough to know that, you bought at like 200 and something. When it hit a certain price, you should have sold everything and got out, right? You want to minimize your losses, but I was never a stock guy, so that wasn't an idea to me, right? So I watched it go all the way down, and that was a really hard, good lesson. And then when it got up to around 120 something, when it went back, that's when I started trading it. And I thought, okay, well, if I trade this thing right, I won't lose. Of course, when I sold it at 120, I lost about 50%. But then I was able to use my Litecoin to make some other good trades. And then I bought it back at, I think the original one, I sold at 120, and I waited and waited and waited. I bought it back at around 59, so that was good. I doubled my Litecoin. And then when it went back up to around 89.90, I sold it again. And then it dropped back down to almost the same price. Almost the same, like 59, 50, maybe it was 57. Around 57, I bought it back. And between those four trades, selling, buying, selling, buying, I was able to significantly increase a number of my cryptos, and I still had the same number of Litecoin. So then I felt pretty good about Litecoin. And I thought, well, if I went through the numbers now, probably my average buy-in price was no longer like 240 for Litecoin. It's dropped down to 100 and something now. So that's pretty good, and I will continue to do the same thing with Litecoin and other coins. Okay, so just remember, when I'm giving advice here and saying this coin looks good, that coin looks good, please take all of this information in. Think about what's good for you. Do not sell a coin at a loss. Now, I know I told you I just sold my Litecoin at a loss, but that was almost out of desperation, and I had this idea of that it would work. And of course, if it had not worked, all of that responsibility would have been on me. Okay? So, that's my big recommendation. If you can, never sell a coin at a loss. And that means you wait sometimes, right? You wait sometimes. I was just talking about selling and buying back my Litecoin. Between one of the times I sold and one of the times I bought it back, I waited 2.5 months. 2.5 months to get that price that I wanted to buy it back at. So there is patience required. Okay, so my recommendations for today, I still think EOS is good. The other thing is, if you have NEO or Tezos, keep an eye on those. I don't know what your buy-in prices are, but for me, Tezos right now at 124, that would be a good price to sell at. Although I think I have one of my targets set higher at around $1.40. $1.40. Yeah, somewhere around the $1.40. So I'm going to wait and see if that happens. If it does, I will sell. So you may want to think about Tezos. What did you buy it at? What would be a good gain for you? The same with OMG. OMG trades in a tighter range, although I was able to buy and sell OMG a number of times. And I think my best day, I sold, and bought twice, yeah, for OMG, and increased the number of OMG I had. And it's, like I said, Tezos and OMG, if you keep an eye on these things, you can actually almost do a day trading type scenario. And if you don't like to do that, you just put in these limit orders, right? Okay, when it hits this price, I'm going to sell. Once you sold it, okay, when it drops down to this price, I'm going to buy it back. You know, even doing that kind of stuff. Let's see, and NeoGas, keeping my eye on NeoGas. Now, there's a couple coins I haven't talked about at all, Stellar and Cardano. Stellar and Cardano. There's a lot of people who recommended Stellar and Cardano. I didn't know anything about these coins, so when they were recommended to me, I was just like, oh, okay, I'll buy some, you know. And that's my dumb guy voice, okay? So I got some, and man, I bought Stellar at like 11 cents, 12 cents. I bought Cardano around 8 cents. You know, so I'm looking at these numbers here going, holy mackerel, when are these things ever going to take off? So, so I'm not mentioning Stellar and Cardano at all. However, if Stellar and Cardano increase a certain amount from here, I will be getting rid of some of them. I will be trading Stellar and Cardano. You know, I know people say, oh, they're going to 10x, they're going to 20x, or whatever, that kind of stuff. I'm not so interested in that anymore. Of course, I'd be happy if, you know, wow, Cardano jumps up to 25 cents. Man, I'd be the happiest guy in the world, right? However, even those coins, once they get to a certain point, will be coins that I recommend selling if you have them. With the caveat, what's it, the caveat? Oh boy, I can't remember the term. With the warning, with the knowledge, taking into consideration the price that you bought these things at. Okay, so that's going to determine a lot of the equation. You know, what price did you buy it at, and what price do you need to sell it at to make a decent profit? Okay. Okay, so that's all I'll say there. This is the November 15th crypto update. Hope you guys are doing good. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I will see you tomorrow.